Hey, I'm Bret.
And I'm Steven.
And we're here to tell you our 5 favorite scary movies just in time for the Halloween season.
Yeah. Number 5 is Poltergeist.
Poltergeist. The original Poltergeist, not
1982. Not the remake that was made like a couple years ago. 1982, Steven Spielberg, right?
Steven Spielberg produced it.
He didn't direct it, right?
No.
And starring Craig T. Nelson, JoBeth Williams.
JoBeth Williams is amazing.
She's so fucking good
in that movie.
There's that part where she she can hear her or sense her, or what is it? And she starts crying. Remember that part?
Oh yeah, when she passed through.
Oh, she passes through her. That's right. And she just literally just starts crying, and it's like she's amazing.
My favorite scene is the chairs in the kitchen. If you've never seen it, watch it. I'm not gonna tell you anything else.
Number 5, Poltergeist.
Poltergeist.
Number 4. Rosemary's Baby. Ooh. It's so good. And I think one of the greatest things about that movie is that it's what year was it made? In like 68? I'm like totally making that up.
I think that's close. It's close to 68, like somewhere around there.
It might even be earlier. But anyways, New York City is the backdrop of the film, and the Dakota building is where they live, and it's really cool to see.
If you don't know what the Dakota is, it's the building where John Lennon lived and was shot.
Yeah. But the movie is really spooky and really scary.
And there's a cool twist in the end, and
yeah,
and it's Mia Farrow.
And she gets that famous haircut in the movie.
It's beautiful. That's a really spooky movie.
Who's the other actor? John Cassavetes.
Yeah,
and he's basically sold his soul. Wait, what? It's in just.
You need to see it.
Anyways, go see Rosemary. Go see.
Rent it, watch it if you've never seen it.
Rosemary's
Baby. Classic.
Yes.
Okay. Number 3. Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The original.
Not that remake.
There's so many remakes of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Well, there's like a remake and then there's sequels, and they're just like gory, silly things. But the original.
And the original one is a gory, crazy movie.
Yeah, but it's got much more suspense to it. It's like there's a lot.
Does it?
Yeah.
It has suspense. I don't know that it has suspense.
There's a lot of stuff that you don't see that's really spooky, and then it reveals later. Where like the remake is just like they just show you from the beginning.
I think what's most scary about Texas Chainsaw Massacre is that in the original one, I think it's like 71 or something like that, or 77. I don't know. I have to look it up, but
I think it's later, 77.
77 maybe. Anyways, but like the thing that's so scary about it is like the grittiness of the film, and like the real, like the actors are acting. I don't know. It feels very real. It feels almost like a documentary, and I think that's kind of like.
And it's also based on a true story.
It's based on a true story.
It's based on the Edward Gorey serial.
Ed Gein, right?
No, Ed Gein. Sorry.
Ed Gein, yeah.
Ed Gein, the serial killer Ed Gein, which is like, it's messed up.
But isn't it like a combination of killers? It's not all Ed Gein. I mean, Ed Gein did The Skin, right?
Ed Gein did. He was obsessed, and he had taken skin off of people, and they found like skinned corpses in his garage.
Right. But I don't think
and he'd also dug up bodies from cemeteries, and they found some of those bodies at his place too.
Okay.
Don't ask me why I know this stuff.
But I don't think that it was what happens in the movie is based off of like 3 different things combined, and kind of like obviously artistic freedoms, but also the scariest part of that movie for me is like when they first like one at a time go into the house, and then the door opens, and then they like smack them each and they take them down. Anyways, it used to scare the shit out of me, and the first time I ever saw the movie, I actually had friends over, and I was so freaked out afterwards because they left, and I was so scared to be by myself. But like when you see a scary movie, you always tell yourself, well, I was in New York City. I was like, I'm in New York City, and I'm by myself. I'm in an apartment. Like no one's gonna come in here with like a Texas chainsaw. No one's gonna Texas chainsaw.
A Texas chainsaw.
A Texas chainsaw. And then I met.
It's a very specific kind of chainsaw.
No. But anyways, that movie freaked me out. It was disturbing. And also like what's really interesting is like the scene at the end. I don't know the characters' names, but like the main girl who survives. She's
Right,
like,
enough. You're giving away too much.
no, but like she sits at the table and like in real life when they filmed it, they actually like cut her finger and like that's when she's like crying and like crazy and like begging and I love that movie.
All right, number 2.
Number 2,
Halloween.
the original Halloween.
The original Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, it's so good.
It is good.
I will say though, I enjoyed the remake very much.
I did enjoy the remakes, and they're made by Rob Zombie, and they're extremely gory and like almost like they show like everything. Like the original Halloween, they don't actually show, like it's kind of like a Hitchcock thing, like where like you think you see it but you don't. It's kind of like that, but it's very spooky, and obviously Michael Myers' mask is like definitely really freaky. Donald Pleasant's character is amazing. He's the psychiatrist that treated Michael in the insane asylum and really helps track him down through all of the movies.
That's one of the first movies I remember, like, I remember seeing it and like really being scared. But also,
Yeah.
like, I remember my dad saying that Jamie Lee Curtis had big boobies, and I didn't notice that. And that was one of the first times I realized I don't notice big boobies.
Do they show her breasts in them?
No, but I think he just, I think he just noticed.
They
Like,
show, there's another girl that they show her breasts, but they don't show her.
well, I remember my dad saying
Maybe
that,
they did.
and I was like, she does? And then later I found out she was a hermaphrodite. Is that true? Who knows if
She
that's
eats
true.
yogurt. I don't know. She does those yogurt commercials. Number 1.
Number 1.
Is A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street is a classic. The original,
The
not
first
the remake.
film. No, but like the first Wes Craven film with Heather Langenkamp and Johnny Depp. And yeah, so the first one is obviously really, really scary and really freaky. Especially like scenes like when Tina gets killed and you know they still did like the real special effects and she was in like she's on the ceiling and like being clawed by Freddy and like she's in this rotating room and they actually rotated the room and she's on the ceiling and they were like doing effects like that. I think that that's really cool and we don't actually see that in today's
Everything's CGI
films
now
or
and it
horror
ruins
films
it.
especially and but Nightmare on Elm Street, like even just the entire like franchise and the entire like all of the movies, I'm a huge fan.
Tell
of
them what you had on your closet door when you were a teenager.
I had I had a life-size poster of Freddy Krueger on the back of my bedroom door as a kid.
How can you sleep? How can you sleep with that in your bedroom?
I don't know, but I was obsessed with him, and I also had another poster of him somewhere else in my room. But
I was too sensitive. Like I remember we went on a trip to Florida and we had a babysitter and she watched Nightmare on Elm Street and I saw that first scene with Tina and then I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks. I couldn't even finish the movie. I was so freaked out. I was just way too sensitive and too scared.
or how about the other scene where when Nancy falls asleep in the bathtub and Freddy's claw comes up through the drain and pulls her down? That made me never want to take a bath again. But like also I love Nightmare on Elm Street because the very first horror film I was able to sit through when I was a kid wasn't Nightmare on Elm Street #1. It was Nightmare on Elm Street #3. What was it? Dream Warriors, I believe it's called.
Oh, with
and it's with Patricia Arquette.
Arquette.
And it's when Nancy
Talk about big boobies.
Yeah, she has huge.
Patricia Arquette.
But when it comes back, or no, when Nancy comes back, and anyways, so that was my first scary movie that I ever like was like courageous enough to sit through, and then I finally saw the original probably shortly after, and the original is obviously much scarier, and it's still like one of my favorite movies, most favorite movies ever, and I think Wes Craven's a genius, and you know, I love all of his films. So.
Okay, we got it. He likes Nightmare on Elm Street.
And
he
Robert
likes Freddy
Englund is
Krueger.
amazing. Robert Englund
If you're
is
watching
amazing.
Robert Englund, you
we
have a
love
fan.
you. I love you. I love you. I mean, who doesn't love Freddy Krueger? Come on. He's like this bad guy. He's a serial killer, but he's cool, and he says all these nasty things. Like, it's great.
Why is he cool?
He's cool.
He's scary.
Because he's like a serial killer in these movies, but he also like says like little how sweet fresh meat, and he says like you know, he just says come on bitch, or you know, he's just like always swearing and saying like I like it.
All right, so what are your favorite scary movies? Leave it in the comment section below. Let us know if you liked this video. Give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.
Do 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 do.